Hello, and thank you for joining me on Voices of Vision Stories of Soul. My name is Catherine, and this is a podcast to talk to people that have inspired me and for me to bring people together that are basically a small business and just part of a really special group of people that just have insanely gorgeous energy. So this is a series that celebrates the dreamers, healers, and creators shaping our conscious world. Through heartfelt conversation, we uncover the wisdom, purpose, and magic that moves the soul and inspires transformation. And our guest today is Sarah Fletcher. So thank you so much for joining us. This
Oh,
this podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcast and through the YouTube channel. I would like to take a moment to show our respects to the Bunurong people, part of Eastern Kulin Nation. We show our respects to all elders, past, present, and emerging. So our guest Sarah is here today, and thank you so much for joining us. We're so
thank
excited.
you for having me.
So you're known to me as the Mermaid Medium. So you are just somebody that I guess I followed from doing the workshop with you at Witch School.
hmm
And I really loved the magic that you had. And what I really enjoyed was the storytelling elements that you had. So could you tell us a bit about that and a little bit about the mermaid medium and the story behind it?
Absolutely. Well, I just want to thank you for having me here because what a pleasure, what an honor. And it's very special to be in your beautiful space and sphere. So thank you. Okay, storytelling to me is a powerful ancient art form. It's a language. And, before we had pictures and films and, story and dance and music and culture is something that's been embedded in humanity forever, since really the beginning of time. So, story is something that's been powerfully passed on generation after generation, particularly in oral form. And when I studied Steiner education, it was such an emphasis that we would tell the children oral storytelling versus reading out of a book. And the reason, well, there's many reasons for it, but one of the reasons was the power of the spoken word, like in the beginning was the word. And so I'm not referring to that as a biblical reference, although it is, but I'm referring to it really pre Christ, and it's about the word being the beginning. It's like our they say, spelling. Our words are spells. So for me, storytelling has a very special place in my heart, particularly when spoken orally, and there is powerful healing medicine in oral storytelling and storytelling in general. Yeah, so cultures and communities across the globe, of course, had used oral storytelling as a way to heal, as a way to teach. So,
It's a,
foibles,
it's a
fairy tales.
it's a
Mm.
vibration as well. It's a vibration. Is that, am I on the right track?
Well, I mean, sure, there's different energies and stories and flavors and vibrations for different stories. Um, yeah, there's definitely a reason as to which a particular story would be told. So, yeah, I suppose it is a vibration.
I
And
love
then
you told me a story of it was like a Celtic story and it was all
it
about a tree and oh my gosh, I was there. I was such a witness to that. It was beautiful.
it was a Norse story, and it was about the Yggdrasil tree, and the tree of the tree of life, the tree of the beginning, and the different worlds, Niflheim, and the human world, the giant world, and it's all Norse mythology, and that's the story that we told. But yes, it was very potent, and pardon me, that story was supported with a beautiful drawing that the class also did
Yeah,
with their own trees.
yeah.
And the tree, of course, is represented as our physical body, our head, our heart, our vessel, our limbs. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Um, I like how you say potent, because what I feel like is when you hear an old story about an old time, it feels like that spoken word thing that you were just talking about. You weren't talking about, I don't know, something that incorporated modern themes, and it's harder to go deep into like a mysterious journey for me, maybe as well, when I'm feeling something that is such an old story that you feel like it could have been a story
You could
told
have been
from,
embedded into that
yeah,
story yourself, right?
I
And I
feel.
think that's where the healing potent powers lie, is because people can live into the story. They can imagine themselves as a character in the story, potentially more than one character in the story. And through the process of hearing a story and taking it into your being and even sleeping on it, you have a story that goes to sleep within your soul, and you wake and you take that into your waking world. There is such healing and power in it. So yeah, that's all part of it.
Yes. So I sat in that workshop and I was like, oh my God, I have to fangirl this lady. She's amazing. So tell us about the Mermaid Medium. Tell us about, the story behind it, and what you were doing at that time. And then the witch school. I know that you've just finished at the Melbourne Witch School this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So I am the mermaid medium, known as the mermaid medium. The mermaid part comes because just I've always been called mermaid, like as long as I can remember since I was a kid. Friends have called me Sarah Mermaid throughout my entire life. So, yeah, it's probably just my connection to the ocean. And I've always loved Little Mermaid. And the reason I chose the mermaid medium as my, like, stage name, I suppose you could call it, is because, well, it's got a nice ring to it, but also I find that after reading, like a big day of readings, particularly at somewhere like My Body Spirit Festival, or, a big expo, that I want to get into the salt water and completely cleanse my energy fields
Yeah.
and my physical body. And salt water, nothing better for me than salt water. So yeah, I trained in free diving. I used to make mermaid tails. So you can look me up on YouTube as a mermaid and see me swimming in the ocean, Sarah Fletcher Mermaid. And like, so I'm as much of a mermaid as you could possibly become as a human.
It's a really good, yeah. I think I've got a slice of that, because I think that when you have a little bit of mermaid inside you, it's a fellowship, and it's
Yeah.
also something that you pick up lightly. Like you don't go, oh, am I? You just go, yep, I definitely am, and
Yeah.
I love that experience. That's what I look forward to when I'm having my experiences, especially I think where you are, because you are you're in Illawarra, coastal region, New South Wales. Wollongong's the biggest hub, and you're the finalist in the local business awards as well. So congratulations!
Yeah. Thanks so
Amazing.
much. I know it was so exciting when I got the news. I got a phone call a few weeks ago and I just cried. I feel that it was such a, I've been working at this for nearly 2 years in terms of my actual shop, not my business. My business has been going for years and years, but the shop space, the physical space, the brick and mortar space, um, you know, that takes a lot to maintain something
Yeah.
like that. So I'm really intentionally, purposely working on growing local community,
Yeah.
and it is growing very intentionally and organically and timely. And I suppose just to even be a finalist at this stage is really an accomplishment that I felt such gratitude to be acknowledged for.
Yes. I mean, I looked it up so I could see who your competition is, and it's fierce. It's a real business world, and like, yeah, congratulations. That's amazing just to be a finalist. But
Thank you.
yes. um,
Thank you so much.
is there a particular moment when you realize that your intuitive gifts could become part of your future life?
Oh, that's such a good question. Like, because when I was a kid, I used to get dragged around to psychic circles and like trance platform mediumship shit with my mum because she's a medium. And my grandmother was quite psychic, and my great grandmother was a medium. So, I am a hereditary medium. I'm an evidential medium. I'm mental medium. So all of this has lived in my soul. I used to see spirit as a kid, like I could see you and I. And now it's more energy, and particularly, I use it through clairvoyance, clairaudience, and different clairsenses. Through those channels, I'm receiving information. But I suppose my first initiation was when I was about 15. I would go around to markets and stuff with my mum, and we would actually do readings. So I would work with her, under her, side by side, and she would do readings and I would do readings. I was like her apprentice.
Wow.
So
Okay, I never
so
did. I
now,
never did that with my mum. Okay, that's
yeah.
okay. But I'm not a psychic. I just like I love that presence that can be, but it's just I feel like I'm too not like I'm. It's all astrology. I take it to as far as astrology, and then I go, okay, that's enough woo woo for me. So I
Yeah.
love that I love that you're like, did you say third or fourth like generation
Well,
of that to
the
me?
fourth, certainly fourth that I know of, and it could go further back, but there's a block with the family tree at that point. So yeah.
Right. I know my family back to that number of like in that I can be generational, but not in a psychic way. And if I am, I'm really sorry. No, because I feel like I can, but it's not my goal. I'm a hands-on. I'm a massage. I do massage. And I do art and things. But I love what we're talking about with intuitive gifts because it's a gift, and I always feel like it's part of me. It's part of me to just go, how, why, like how, Sarah, how, why, like what's the deal with that? And so that's we're just going to move from there because you're clearly gifted, and I find it amazing. And you do the tarot. I know you do the 3 card read, like the famous
Yeah,
3 card
yeah.
read for me. So I feel like that's something that you gift the audience, the people listening, which is me. What it seems to be a powerful symbol in your brand and teaching. What lessons? I love your lesson. Actually, you've told us the lessons of salt water is to just kind of cleanse from.
Yep. Cleanse, purify, let go, transmute. Absolutely. Yeah. Salt water is healing. It's so healing. All of the ions. Yeah.
Tell us more about Elements, the Women's Wellness Centre, where it is and what your offerings are.
Yes, okay. So Elements Women's Wellness Centre is in Windang, which is a coastal town in Wollongong, which is the Illawarra, and that's yeah, it's like 2 hours south of Sydney, an hour and a half south of Sydney. And I created that space with what I do in mind, but never knowing it would become as big as it has become.
Yeah.
And I say that I don't mean big, like I've got hundreds of people, I'm like a crazy rapid growing business. I don't mean big like that. I mean the power behind what the space represents and means for people, and the stories that people share about the healing process that they're going through by having a space such as the one that has been created. I didn't really anticipate that it would be that. It was always in mind, but it wasn't like that big. Like I didn't think, I thought it was like, my shop and my space to do my readings and to do workshops.
What do you
Pardon
think?
me.
What do you think inspires people to be spiritual? What do you think makes people come in to see you?
I think that people get to a point in their biography, in their own life, where they realize that they have to embrace all of who they are, or, they just potentially get sick or things don't flow for them. And I think that people get to that point where then they seek externally like-minded people and community that can understand and connect, because it's not always your family and friends that are going to understand and connect the way in which you're starting to move or feel or, think. So, yeah, that is a space, that is a safe space, a conscious safe space that is for everybody to come and join. So, for example, I run fortnightly moon circles. So that looks like, women predominantly, men are welcome, but it is a women's wellness center. So that's my biggest target audience, really. Yeah, women come And we talk about the moon phase. We talk about the astrological influence under that moon phase. We journal. We sometimes offer, something to the flame to be transmuted. So I also run Sabbath dinners. So we do witch practice as well. Also, it's a non-denominational space, so people can come to just chat. People can come, of course, for a reading. People can come to the shop. I've just recently built the Venusian Day Spa. So this is a place where I've got a sauna, a spa, an ice plunge. And it's really for people to reset the vagus nerve and do hot cold therapy. Pardon me. And I realized that, yeah, I had been running on cortisol, high cortisol and adrenal fatigue for a long time based on probably trauma in my own life, and that I needed to extra support myself through the process of what I needed to deal with in my own life personally, but also based on what I do and how I offer my energy to other people in service and work,
Yeah.
that I needed to be okay to keep maintaining that
Yeah.
and
Yes.
make it,
That's a lot.
workable, make
Yes.
it doable,
Tell us,
sustainable. That's the word I'm looking for. Making it a sustainable everyday practice so that I would not face epic burnout. And so I thought, well, yeah, this is something that everybody needs. And so people can come and use the Venetian Day Spa, which is just a small little space that I've created within Elements Women's Wellness Centre.
if you could sit down with your younger self for a coffee by the ocean, what advice would you give her about courage, purpose, trusting the journey?
Well, I would say, girl, you have got no idea how good it's going to get, but dream big and never stop dreaming big and dream bigger than big because it's all fucking possible. I would also say, do not waste your time over giving to people that just don't get you. Do not waste your time on those guys and those relationships that are draining and toxic. I would absolutely say that to her, and I would say it to my daughter. And I would say, invest your money and get wise about money like ASAP, because that does offer a lot of freedom and flexibility within your life. We do live in a world that requires that we, make financial exchange for home and food, et cetera, et cetera. And I would say, yeah, surround yourself with the most incredible human beings because you really are the sum of who you spend your time with.
Do you have a daily ritual that you could tell me about?
Yeah, so well, I've got a few, but one of them, I love to go for a walk on the beach, as you know, like I do a lot of, my beach photos and I do some ocean magic. I am a sea witch, so I get down there and I really use whatever's available in nature, in the natural world, and I go to the tide pools and I, you know, create incantations and little spells, etc. But I also use sacred smoke. Sometimes I, pretty much every day I'm pulling tarot cards because that's part of what I do and who I am as well. Uh, and then, yeah, sometimes it might be I come in and I cleanse my beautiful space and I do symbolic grids. And yeah, so I feel like I keep it dynamic. It's not like every single day it's the same ritual, but every single day I do have a ritual and I mix it up
Tell us about, oh, I was going to ask you first, tell us about the tarot, your experience with
with the
tarot.
tarot.
Yes.
Yeah, so my mother has always had tarot decks, and since I could remember, probably since I was 5 years old, I would play with her tarot deck. And she had this most beautiful deck. I think it's called the Inner Child card deck, and it's a tarot deck. Very beautiful illustrations, very fairy tale based. So again, it speaks to this sort of narrative, this storytelling aspect. And of course within tarot, within the structure of tarot, but my logical mind at that time was never looking at it as though it was tarot. For me it was beautiful pictures that I would interpret, and anytime I'd pull them, so it was like this beautiful connection to art, and
Mm,
of course to my mediumship, to the messages that I channel through.
yeah.
And then as I got older I begun to understand the system and the journey, the hero
Yes.
journey,
Yes.
and particularly the elements as well: earth, air, fire, water. And I really begun to understand the structure of tarot more. And so when I do my little daily 3 card tarot pulls, it's so funny because there's, thousands and thousands of people that do tarot card pulls daily, sort of thing. And I do it within a 90-second story. So I keep it
Yeah.
very brief and short. Sometimes I even get cut off and I don't really care. But I keep it really brief on purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes me look like a good tarot reader or a bad tarot reader. I don't really care because ultimately my main thing is I'm a medium. But I like to share it with people because it's a visual cue, and a lot of
Yeah.
people just love that. Like I even
It
love it
is.
for myself
I
when I'm
love
scrolling,
it.
and I'm
Yeah.
scrolling and I come across it could be anybody doing tarot, but if the message speaks to me at that time on that day, then it's for me.
Yes.
So that's something that I gift people as well. That's my like little freebie gift.
It is. I feel like you make it really simple and you also make it seem like a daily habit. And also because if you're familiar with and follow you, then okay, oh, I'm not feeling it. So you can just like not listen. But if you are feeling like you want something more inner depth to touch, then you can have a really deep listen, which definitely
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, tarot is wonderful. There's so much to learn. It's a whole language, and I have created a beautiful deck, which is in the very final phases of basically submitting to publishers.
Okay.
So, yeah,
You've
yeah,
got
I
a
did. I did the artwork and the writing for it. So let's just hope that it's going to be out on shelves soon.
That sounds amazing. You do have a book as well, The Mermaid Medium Messages from the Other Side, which is available on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your experience in the weekend, your Melbourne journey. Tell us about that.
Oh, wow. So, for the last 3 years, I have been very fortunate enough to be a teacher at Witch School in Melbourne, which is at Hawthorn Arts Centre. And this year and last year, I taught mediumship. And the first year I taught Flying the Hedge and Norse mythology. So, yeah, mediumship, that's my absolute, passion, main thing in life. Um, and it was incredible. I had like a room of maybe 40 women and a man. There was a man in the class too. And yeah, we went through all things mediumship that I could in 90 minutes. And, that's not really a lot of time. We did a little bit of experiential activities around it as well. So everybody had a little bit of a go reading people. And yeah, it was amazing. And of course, to be among like 250 other witches or people that are witch curious, it's just the energy is big,
Yeah,
you know? There's nothing quite like being at an in-person event. I love online. I run online courses. I run the craft, which is a witch course as well online. Mediumship classes online. I run a lot of classes online, but being somewhere in person, which is also why I love my space at Elements Women's Wellness Centre, because I get to have that real life in-person connection. But yeah, anyway, the
yeah,
organizer, Leela Cosgrove, has done an incredible job of creating something that is um, so powerful in connecting people. And
yeah.
each subject that you try, there's never enough time because there's so many great subjects. So,
It really
there's
is.
just you could do it for a week, you could do
It's
it for a whole week.
amazing. I'm going to do the online version
Yeah.
of Witch
Yeah.
School. I went to the first Witch School in 2024, which was incredible, amazing. And then the following year. And then I just I feel like I feel like my year is going too quick because I have like a young child. So the
Yeah.
next year I'm just like, do I really? And it's not that I don't want to, it's just money isn't free.
You
Um,
have to sometimes prioritize. That's life.
and
Yeah.
it's not about not wanting to go. It's 100% about actually the experience I had meant so much and was such a
Mm,
deep groove in my soul. And because I met High Priestess during, so many online workshops that I started with. And so that's been a process. And then also, it's so amazing, but I can't do the same course or I can't do the same class with the same person because I feel like in this community, everybody sort of is growing at a fast or a slow rate or whatever, but also from the point of view of like, I get it. I get it. It's a witch school,
Mm.
and it's to learn about spells, and it's to learn about mediumship, and it's to learn about tarot, and it's to learn about all the things to do with that, which I absolutely love. No way that I couldn't want to be there. Like, that's the thing. So I loved my workshop with you. It was incredible. Um, how can listeners find out about your retreats, and tell us about the tour you're embarking on? So we've got Tarot and Spirit, the Stage Experience Roadshow,
Yes.
live. So tell us about that and how people can connect with you online.
Thank you. Yeah, so Tarot and Spirit, the stage experience is kicking off in Kiama, which is down, it's where I live on the south coast. Again, yeah, in the Illawarra. So you can check that out if you go onto Kiama Leagues website, and it will be up there, but also my own website, which you'll put in the show notes, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, and on Instagram. So myself and my beautiful friend Elsie Lake, who is a tarot genius, she's a tarot master, we have created a show where we've actually made the world's biggest tarot deck. It's a full entire tarot deck and it's massive. And she reads tarot on the stage and pulls cards for people. And then I do a mediumship message for people as well. So it's really unlike anything that's been done or created or seen, which makes it unique. It makes it very engaging. It's quite funny. There's a lot of lighthearted humor in there as well. Yeah, we of course with the potent, powerful messages that mediumship brings. So yeah, that's just been a joy to collaborate and work on, and we're taking it to the road. So the first one, as I said, is Clamor, and then really the sky's the limit. We vision that this is going to go international, and this is something that will probably tour around, yeah, the world.
You know,
Um,
do you have only the one, like, do you have more than one show booked yet?
We've got a second venue that's about to be secured. Yeah. So that's just like with venues and times, you have to have a bit of time in between, not just your own shows, but other shows that are similar. So, for example, they would categorize like mediumship shows in the same sort of, um, in the same sort of category, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love your professionalism. It's so nice to know that you come from this place of you have your own shop, and you have people that come and they gather. I always imagine they're gathering under this big leaf. And I've seen and I've listened to you and your advertising for your retreats as well, which just sound really so beautiful and so involved. Um, and then it's great to know that there are workshops that you do offer online. And I mean, after the Mind Body Spirit, you were up on the main stage at the Mind Body Spirit Festival.
Today, yeah,
Yay.
today it's been so big. So I had that today, and now I'm jumping on your podcast, which is really exciting. It's just been a whole weekend. It's like been 5 days of magic, honestly.
Yeah.
And then I drive back home tomorrow. So I'm sort of like, oh, it's coming to an end, but it's going to be nice to go back home. And
Well,
I've
you're
got
going
five
on
kids.
tour, so like we're all
Yeah, I'm going to go on tour. That's right. I
it's not
know.
it's not going to stop. It's going to keep
It's
going.
that's right. It's not going to stop for long, but and it will be great to be back in, of course, my center because I miss it. It's just like my baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been such a weekend. Today was a day of lots of profound messages, and I connected with a lot of people in spirit. It was emotional at times, funny at other times. So that's often the way it is. It's up and down, but yeah, really, really, I thank spirit every time because I think this is their work, and I am somebody that's blessed to do their work with them for people. So, yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for doing this work for me and for my podcast, Voices of Vision Stories of Soul. It makes me so excited to bring you into the beautiful mix of interviews that I have with just people that I just feel so touched by. And I think it's the mermaid vibe, and you've got mermaid in your name. I'm well.
You
Um,
could not.
I bought a little mermaid little spell from the witch market yesterday.
Yeah.
In honor of you,
Oh,
they just kind of put on
goodness.
it's got a little mermaid tail, and I just thought, oh, I need
Oh
that
my gosh. I didn't
resonance.
even know you were
And
there.
yes, I just need to just I like the idea that I'm able to duck in, duck out.
Yeah.
I like the idea I can have you as a guest and talk to you in this way. It's been so lovely. Um,
Oh.
and yes, tell us your Instagram so that we can find you
Mm.
easily.
Yeah, so jump on at Gypsy Living Love.
Okay.
You can find me at Gypsy Living Love. So you'll hit it and you'll see underneath the Mermaid Medium, it will say that as a subtitle. And you can also
Mermaid
see
Medium
me.
and Gypsy Living Love. Yes.
So yeah, at Gypsy Living Love is the handle, and then the subtitle is the Mermaid Medium. So you'll see it come up. I think it's the first one that comes up. As about 1,700 followers, and then there's Elements Women's Wellness Centre, and that's more geared at the centre, but I do cross post a lot of stuff as well. So, but the main one is at Gypsy Living Love.
Okay. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Oh.
And we'll see you out there in we can't wait for another 3 card read. I'm super excited.
Oh, yes, Queen. I love it. And thank you for your beautiful work that you're doing too, because you've just created so much in the last couple of years. It's been amazing to watch your journey as well.
Thank you, Sarah. That means a lot. Okay, bye.
Thanks. Bye.